Raspberries are another crop that needs to be pruned in the springtime. In order to prune raspberries correctly, it's important to know how they grow. If we take a look at this plant, we will see that there are canes that were produced last year. These are the canes that are going to flower and produce a crop this summer. If we take a look at the base, we can see some other canes that are just beginning to come up. These canes are going to remain vegetative during their first year. They will then be the canes, however, that will produce next year's crop. There are several steps involved in pruning raspberry plants correctly. The first step is to remove canes that are to the outside of the row. We want to end up with a row width that is about 12 inches wide at the base. This is important in order to improve air circulation through the planting and will decrease the amount of disease that is likely to develop. Another thing that we want to do when we're pruning is make sure that any pruning stubs are cut closely to the ground. These pruning stubs are a place where disease inoculum can overwinter and infect new shoots. The second step is to remove any thin canes. We want to end up with about 4 to 6 healthy canes per linear foot of row. Our third step is to remove the tips of the canes. Often there is some winter injury at the tips of the canes. We also will find that the fruit that is produced at the tip tends to be smaller than the rest of the fruit. If you've lost track of your raspberry varieties, as sometimes happens, now is a good time of year to sort them back out. You can tell the difference between different varieties by looking at their bark color, also looking at the color of their thorns and the shape and number of their thorns. If you take a look at these two plants, you can see that this one has a bit of a purple tinge to it, whereas this one's more tan. There's another type of raspberry, which is called a fall bearer. Sometimes this is also called an ever bearer, and we'll take a look at how the plant grows and see why. If you take a look at this cane, the plant will actually produce flower buds on the current year's growth, starting at the tip. It will break buds. This will happen in the fall after the cane has grown to its full height. And then the following summer, it will begin to break flower buds starting at the point where it stopped the previous fall and continue to fruit on down the cane. These canes can be trimmed so that the top growth that produced fruit last year is removed and then pruned as summer bearers. This type of plant, however, also gives us a second option. They can be completely cut off at the ground in the spring, and then only the fall crop will be produced. This is a nice solution for homeowners who want a simple way of pruning their plants. For more information on how raspberry plants grow, including pruning, visit Penn State's website.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.